looking to hit double figures in the win column. The man in the sombrero is Juan Carlos Rubio out of Lakeside, California, by way of Guadalajara, Mexico. Same birthplace as Bojado, former California State welterweight champ. 27-6-2, just 10 knockouts, only one fight in 16 months, and he's lost 2 of his last 3. For the introductions, our ring announcer, once again, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, at this time, we continue our action here at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, as we move down in weight to the junior welterweight division. And our action, once again, is brought to you by Main Events in association with Showtime and Miller Lite. Introducing to you at this time our judges scoring this bout from ringside. Once again, we have Melvina Lathan, Dr. Clark Sammartino, and Fred Ucci. And introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, our third man in the ring from Hamden, Connecticut, Michael Ortega. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in the junior welterweight division. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring wearing green trunks with yellow trim, fighting out of Lakeside, California, by way of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. His weight 143 1/4 pounds. His record stands at 26 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws, with 10 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Juan Carlos El Rubio. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, this 10-round attraction. He is wearing red trunks with black trim, hailing from and representing Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He weighed in at 144 1/2 pounds. He is a member of the 2000 Mexican Olympic boxing team. As a pro, his record is perfect at 9 wins, no losses, all 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked the number 15 super lightweight in the world by the WBC. Please welcome the young boxing sensation known as the baby-faced assassin, introducing Francisco Panchito Bojado. Once again, our referee in charge, Michael Ortega, now to give instructions. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled.
Okay, gentlemen, I want a good, clean fight. Caballeros, una pelea limpia. Buena suerte a los dos. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up. Toca la mano.
Bojado all about fast hands and fast fights. Featured weapon, the left hook. His last opponent, Mauro Lucero, never saw it coming. A wicked shot to the temple. Rubio is not a power puncher. He's a boxer mover, relies on the jab and speed, but he has been dropped several times. Told us he planned to come out, throw it to attack Bojado from the start and push him back. Usually takes Bojado about a minute or two to size up his opponent, and then it's all over.
You know, Bojado always says, I never go at anybody in too big a hurry. I want to size them up, gauge their speed, their power, see what openings are there, and go after them. Very patient, very smart for a young guy.
A fight manager's dream, only 18, with poise, personality, power, and speed. A young man with thunder in his fists as he continues to turn heads in the adult world of professional boxing.
You know, as opposed to coming right at Panchito Bojado, Rubio's staying outside, using a stiff jab, fairly quick, fairly stiff, more to keep Bojado away than actually hit him or hurt him.
There's that left hook to the head by Bojado. A straight right hand by Rubio, and a left hook to the shoulder by Bojado.
Nice right hand by Rubio, showing a little bit of sting.
A wild swing and a miss by Rubio, and down he goes. No knockdown, he just slipped. Do you go along with Rubio's game plan of looking to come out throwing and attack a guy like Bojado?
Well, I think that some of the meaning might have been lost in the translation. I don't think he meant to come right at him and run at him, because he hasn't. But he's not running from him, and he's throwing a stiff jab, a decent right hand there, although he just got caught well.
A straight right hand by Bojado, and that was from quite a distance. It still landed.
But again, there you see Rubio stepping him with the jab, coming at Bojado a little bit, not showing any fear, which may be a good thing, and then again, it could get him in trouble.
In the past, Rubio's made the mistake of fighting when he should be boxing. The left jab of Rubio is being picked off. These are vicious shots, not all of them landing, but vicious attempts by Bojado. Straight right hand, and that rocks Rubio.
You know, Rubio's showing a better chin than I've previously seen in some tapes. I've seen lesser punches drop him.
And he's been down on many an occasion. His gloves nearly touched the canvas there, Rubio. Right uppercut on the inside by Bojado.
And Rubio threw a nice left hook to Bojado's belly. Interesting how Rubio's approaching this fight, but so far he's been the most effective of any of Bojado's opponents.
Rubio attempting to go to the chest area and the body. Bojado coming forward. A lot of head movement by Bojado, working out of a crouch as well, as you can see. You cannot afford to make a mistake against Bojado. He will find that opening. Uncanny maturity for a fighter his age. Wise beyond his years. A little trickle of blood from the left nostril of Bojado. Rubio is getting hurt here, stung at the end of the round, and he shakes his head in the face of Bojado. He's game. Let's go over to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. I'm back in the dressing room area. I'm joined by Jerry Boyle. He is the unit chief for the Mohegan Trial Gaming Commission Athletic Unit. He has just been in to see Glenn Thomas. His purse, Glenn Thomas, is being withheld in the fight with Jeff Lacey. Jerry, before we get to this, let's take a look at the replay that we have right here, and you can give us your assessment if whether, in fact, Glenn Thomas was hit or if he took a dive as we look at this right here with Jeff Lacey. Seems to be innocuous action right there, and then he goes down. What's your assessment of that? Did this man take a dive?
Before speaking to him, I would have to consider it. After speaking to him, he told me he took a solid hit. I did not see that just now in the replay. I've seen partial replays. It does not look like a solid hit to me.
So his purse is being withheld. What will be the determining factor in whether or not Glenn Thomas will be paid?
I'm going to review the tape again, most likely several times. Speak to the physician. I have spoken to the doctors quickly tonight.
And they did not give you that assessment that Thomas gave you?
Their medical assessment was that they can find no evidence of, they didn't even use the word solid hit, no evidence of a hit.
Well, Jerry, this strikes at the credibility of the sport that this man seemingly has taken a dive, and I'm sure you're concerned about that, correct?
I would be concerned if he did not take a solid hit. If he did, the purse will be paid.
Jerry Boyle, we thank you for your time, and we look forward to the results of that investigation.
Thank you.
Steve, back out to you.
All right, Jim, as Bojado continues to unleash. Bobby, do you agree that did he take a solid hit or didn't he?
I thought that replay clearly showed he took a solid hit on the right rib cage, and it was a delayed reaction, which we know in boxing has happened many, many times, different fighters, to the head and body. That's a clear indication he got hit. How a doctor could say he didn't get hit to the solar plexus or on the rib cage is impossible.
So they are withholding the purse of Glenn Thomas as a result.
I think there's a little bit of overreaction here to a guy who got hurt and maybe quit a little bit because he feared the power of Jeff Lacey.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, round 2, Bojado continues to let fly against Juan Carlos Rubio, landing almost at will.
Although I'll tell you what, Rubio's hit him with some clean shots like that right hand.
A right hand to the neck. Rubio is courageous. Is another good right hand.
That's the best I've ever seen Bojado get hit, and under one of his eyes a little bit of swelling, or redness at least.
This is the first time we've seen him get somewhat tested.
Steve, not only somewhat tested, but that's the first time I've also seen him lose his temper a little bit.
That right hand did not land cleanly, but he's giving Bojado something to think about. A left hook to the head by Rubio, partially blocked. Rubio gaining some confidence. Well, let's see how Bojado responds, and it looks like he's responding pretty well.
Bojado's not working behind the jab as much. He's walking in, looking to pressure for the hook, looking for that big hook.
Right uppercut, left hook by Bojado. He seems to be unfazed, but let's see how it continues.
And he just walked into a beautiful right hand and another one by Rubio.
A straight right hand by Rubio. This is the most we've seen anybody score against Bojado. Second round action, 20 seconds to go. Bojado turns it up.
He missed a great deal of those shots, though. And I'll tell you right now, he got hit there, clean left hook. Rubio's got his number a little bit at least.
Left hook by Bojado, but not clean. And there's the bell. The toughest round as a pro for Bojado.
I'm trying to go to war with this guy. You know, go to war with him. You didn't throw one jab that round. You let him throw all the jabs. You let him throw all the jabs.
Bojado getting hit more here than he ever has. There, a left hook by Rubio as he steps out. Little body shot. There's a nice counter hook by Bojado, but he's frustrated, and you just heard his corner say he's not throwing as many jabs. He's not setting up his combinations. That was one of the things he did so well for a young guy. Didn't negate and forget the jab. Watch the straight right hand he catches right on the button. Right there. Clean as a whistle. And there was another right hand shortly thereafter that landed as well. Rubio putting the biggest test on Bojado's chin right this minute.
Rubio keeping a busy pace, very determined. He is not known to have a big punch and a very, very bad chin. But you wouldn't know it here tonight.
From the tapes I saw, Steve, I'm in nothing short of shock right this minute. He's reacted to all the bombs that he's been hit by Bojado, and he's thrown bombs that I didn't see in the tape.
Unrated by any organization, 26-6-2, 10 knockouts. 24 years old, from Mexico, now living in Lakeside, California.
Technically, as this turns out, it turns out to be the perfect type of opponent for Panchito Bojado. Somebody who's pushing him, testing him. I gave the last round to Rubio.
A countering left hand by Bojado.
But Rubio's right back in his face. Not showing fear, showing some good durability.
They were telling Bojado in his corner there's no reason to
Bojado
with this guy.
Bojado just switched to southpaw.
Yeah, he's fighting from a left-handed stance now and landing the right jab. He's trying to confuse Rubio.
Little blood trickling out of the nose of Ponchito Bojado.
So it's the first time we've ever had to see Bojado on defense.
The last round I gave to Rubio is the first round I've ever given to someone else against Bojado.
Now that is saying a lot. Bojado 9-0, 9 knockouts. Has never been past 3. We approach 1:10 left in the third. Oh, a big left hand to the head by Bojado.
As a southpaw, Bojado being a little more effective, landing with the left hand and a couple of right uppercuts on the inside.
Rubio comes back. Left hand now by Bojado, continues to fight out of the southpaw stance. Now Bojado working the jab. Let's see if he sets up the left hand. He did, but he missed.
Awkward sequence there coming.
Oh, what a combination to the head by Rubio.
Rubio unloaded a beautiful 4-punch combination and caught Ponchito with 3 of them.
A left hand to the head by Bojado. Tremendous exchanges here at the end of round 3. Now right up above us. Bojado jumping on Rubio. Rubio hanging tough though. Hard body shot there by Bojado just before the bell. And for the first time ever, Bojado will extend past 3.
See a big counter hook by Bojado. Comes in. There it is, right over the dropped glove of Rubio. Just pushing him, but not working the jab. And then Rubio comes back with a nice 4-punch combination, 3 of which landed pretty good. He's keeping punches in Bojado's face. Offense is the best defense. Here you see him continually following up. Bojado being outfought in certain sequences, very interesting. And Bojado responds with some fire of his own. Gets hit there with a nice combination. Looking to come back in with that left hook. There's the hook and the right uppercut. Hook missing. That body shot landing a little better.
Rubio answering our question, when will they step up the opposition for Bojado, who enters round 4 for the first time in his pro career. Bojado told us yesterday he had no specific game plan for Rubio. He'll figure him out in the first round. Well, maybe he took Mr. Rubio a bit for granted.
Well, I'll tell you, if you look at Rubio too, he's not breathing too hard. I watch him in the corner. I watch him now. Neither fighter seems to be huffing and puffing. Pace picking up a little quid pro quo. I'll give you some, you give me some. Back and forth. I love this.
And
we
Rubio
gotta fight.
banging shots off the noggin of Bojado.
For the first time, Bojado's being forced to use defense. Beautiful counter hook. He really wobbled Rubio with that one.
And then tries to jump on him. But Michael Ortega, the referee, gets between. Yes, Bojado being tested for the first time. No knockdowns. Here's a beautiful stiff left jab by Bojado, back to the conventional stance. He fought almost the last round all southpaw. Right uppercut followed by a left hook to the head by Rubio. Beautifully done.
Bojado's throwing 1 and 2 at a time, not 3, 4, 5. You watch Rubio 3, 4, 5 outlasting Bojado in some of these combinations.
He missed with the right, Bojado landed with the left, and what does Rubio do? He smiles.
Bojado's got his left hand down quite a bit too. It's the reason why he's getting hit with some of those right hands so cleanly. There's a right hand hitting again.
Beautiful left hook followed by a right hand, but the left hook really a heavy punch by Bojado. Bojado missing with the right uppercut, scoring on the double up on the left hook.
Bojado's loading up now too, forgetting about the jab and the combinations.
Oh, here comes Bojado with left hooks galore. Missing there. Rubio's game. Bojado's got Rubio on the ropes. Juan Carlos Rubio trying to derail this express.
I'll tell you what, it's the first time I've seen Bojado get a little out of sorts and lose a little bit of his self-imposed discipline, getting a little wild.
Now he switches back to southpaw. Bojado in the red.
And he just ate two right hands, Steve.
Yes.
I think he switches when he's a little tired. Again, he's getting hit.
He looks weathered here. Rubio chasing him around at the bell. And he stares Bojado down.
That was a smart round. Let me tell you something. This fight is an easy fight when you use your jab. You're hitting with every jab you're throwing. You're hitting with every jab you're throwing, and you're hitting with combinations of it. You almost took him out that round by setting it up, okay? Don't fight with it. When he wants to fight, walk away, then come back in behind your left hand. And when jabs, hooks, jabs, 1, 2.
We're going to watch here now. Rubio, who's on his way in here. He gets close to Bojado and he throws a right hand. And what Bojado does is just block it with his left hand right here and just swing a beautiful left hook counter. Just sweet and short and beautiful. Right hand's blocked. Bang. There's the left hook right on the chin. Almost dropping Rubio. His feet got under him. Very wobbly for a split second. But at the end of the round, Rubio taking his shot. There's the lead right hand as Bojado's getting to his southpaw and tiring, I think.
Let's see if Bojado can regroup as we enter into round 5. Both sizing each other up here at the start of the round.
It was interesting, Bojado's corner said when you use the jab, it's an easy fight, but Bojado's not jabbing. He's loading up, looking to take him out one big shot. Right now, he's being out-jabbed.
Panchito Bojado in the red, who averages 1.55 rounds per fight in uncharted territory here. Oh, a solid right followed by a left hook, but Rubio's still standing.
That might have been the best right hand Bojado's thrown all night, and Rubio did not wobble.
And that's got to make Bojado think as Rubio goes to work on the inside. He's landing with these. They may not have the same power as Bojado, but he's landing.
But right now, he's outworking Bojado.
Yes.
Important. Look at the punch on the inside.
Rubio out hustling Bojado. The thing is, with Bojado, one of those punches could end it. Probably not the case for Rubio. Rubio has but 10 knockouts in his 26 wins.
It's very telling. Every time Bojado goes southpaw, he backs up. To me, that's a sign of fatigue and frustration.
What a work rate and volume of punches to the head by Rubio. And we wondered if Bojado is trained for a distance fight.
We're about to find out.
Yep, scheduled for 10. We're just about halfway through. Body shot by Bojado. Oh, a right uppercut by Bojado. Missed with the left hook, though. Another right uppercut on the inside of the chin by Bojado. Bojado scoring. A left hook by Bojado to the head.
The big power shots are starting to take their toll.
And a heavy right hand. And Rubio says, bring it on. And Bojado does. Rubio fights back. Wild exchange. They are toe-to-toe. Crowd loving it.
If they can keep this up for the rest of this fight, this could be a candidate for Fight of the Year already.
Rubio pressing the attack. Left hand by Bojado to the jaw. What's holding Rubio up? And that may be what Bojado is thinking.
Bojado is definitely tired, and these punches shouldn't be landing so easily. Bojado is tired, but he still has the power.
Rubio looking to wear Bojado down. Right hand by Bojado. Bojado looks tired, really tired now. Unbelievable action.
You got a small point. Now listen to me. You're making this fight hard. When he's on the inside like this, just take your hands, put him in his chest, and push him up. Just push him back. When he comes in, hit him in the body first. You're looking straight for headshots only. This guy's got a hard head. You got to break it down. All right?
De aquí para adelante. Así cortito, nomás cuidado cuando él tira ese gancho muy largo.
Be careful.
Hace el bend y lo sube la mano.
You're doing very good. Stay in the center. Go low towards the body. He's tired. Towards the body. He's tired. Very good. Very good. Let's go.
Our thanks to our translator, Kevin McMahon. This is Rubio's 23rd time into the 6th round. Bojado, as mentioned earlier, has never been past 3. The 5th round, a candidate, early candidate for best round of the year on Showtime, I'll say that. Look at Rubio go to work. Peppering the head of Bojado.
Right now, I think the conditioning's a big factor here. Rubio's been this distance, not Panchito.
Bojado breaks out with a left hook, but it doesn't even faze the man in green. Body shot with the left hand by Bojado. Rubio comes right back with combination to the head. Slapping right hand by Bojado scores.
See, the punches aren't hard, but certainly Rubio's throwing more of them.
Bojado may not recognize himself when he looks in the mirror tomorrow morning. Body shot with the left hand by Bojado, but the punches are coming in less furious fashion. Look at Rubio. He pushes Bojado back. Bojado's against the ropes. Non-stop action by Rubio.
Vince Lombardi once said it best, fatigue makes cowards of us all.
And Rubio's wearing the Green Bay Packer colors.
What a coincidence.
Halfway through the 6th. Ooh, a low blow by Bojado. Being told to keep him up by Michael Ortega. Another low blow. He may be getting desperate, and Ortega stops the fight momentarily. He's going to warn Bojado. It could be frustration and also exhaustion. A bloodied cut. Francisco Panchito Bojado fighting in the toughest fight of his life, and he switches back to southpaw now.
Panchito Bojado, Steve, came in as heaviest he's ever been in his short career. You have to wonder automatic. Did he take this guy seriously? Did he do all he had to in training?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Oh, a straight right hand. A blistering right by Rubio. He's got Bojado in trouble. Bojado just hanging on.
He hurt Bojado to the body.
But Bojado, to his credit, showing tremendous heart.
You know what? It's a clear sign when all you're doing is swinging with big ones and nothing small set it up. It's fatigue. You can only muster one at a time.
Bojado trying to end it on one punch.
Put your head down. Look up.
Hold that bucket up here. Hold it up here.
Now listen. We're going to give this fight away. You understand what I'm saying? You got to hit him in the body more. You got to pull him.
We'll watch a wild low blow by Bojado. Could be an act of desperation, just swinging wildly. Fatigue factor again, that is very low, considerably south of the border. And here we watch Rubio teeing off on Bojado, has him pinned in the corner, and Bojado just bends in half and eventually starts getting his body worked on both sides, there and there. He's either tired or he's hurt, but I cannot imagine why he just bends over in a helpless fashion like that.
Round 7 scheduled for 10. Panchito Bojado in the biggest trouble of his young professional career. Came in 9-0, 9 knockouts. Perhaps underestimating Juan Carlos Rubio. There have been no knockdowns in this fight, but Bojado really fatigued.
Right now it's going to behoove Bojado to use his counter-punching ability, harness his energy, make Rubio miss and make him pay. He cannot waste anything. He looks tired.
Unofficially, Bobby, we're beyond the halfway point, but how do you see it right now?
Well, after 6, I had a 3-2 and 1 even for Bojado, and that even round could have easily went the other way. The rounds are, a couple of rounds were close. The last time was clean for Rubio.
Oh, these are wicked body shots by Bojado off the left hand. But again, Rubio doesn't seem to be phased.
Seems to be more zip on the punches of Bojado this round. Less punches all around from Rubio.
We'll see what kind of condition Bojado is in. The mouthpiece looks like it's almost going to fall out of Bojado's mouth, and that is a sign of exhaustion. But Bojado coming forward with heavy shots to the body and head.
And to his credit, Bojado using some great counter-punching there. The heaviest punches he's landed in rounds.
We approach the final minute of the 7th round of a terrific fight. Rubio scoring.
Here's where Rubio's outworking Bojado, and this is where it's important.
Rubio's winning this round. Right hand of the temple by Bojado. It was a left to the temple that won his last fight in the 1st round. Well, that seems like light years ago, and it was 104 days ago. That's a push.
Referee rules out a no knockdown accurately.
No knockdown. Good call by Michael Ortega. And again, that could have been frustration and desperation by Bojado. Bojado does come off his longest layoff, about 3 months, for a guy who was fighting just about every month. So maybe that has a bearing on it as well. Bojado on his toes, now more flat-footed as the bell sounds.
Now you're boxing smart. You don't have to make this a fight. You got to keep stepping around it, hitting with the jab, doing just what you did in that round. Don't get in a fight with him. You will break him down, all right?
Oh, you got a button?
Got your second win now, right? Be a little more active with your left hand, okay? Once you start hitting with the left hand, then let your punches go.
Take a look at that little shove in the corner. Watch their feet and shoulders as they get together. Yeah, there you can see it just as he squared off, did Rubio, and Bojado just squared off and pushed him. Almost like a full body block. Another look from up top. Here you go, just a push right there. He's off balance, just push him. Frustration, it could be a number of things.
He's boxing. Push his ass off.
Rubio, known for his heart coming into this fight. He had been knocked down many times, but usually got up to win. Never on the canvas here in this fight.
And he's taken some terrific blows from Bojado, especially early.
He's actually down 56 seconds in round 1, but that was ruled a slip from a missed punch and pushed down 2:30 into round 7. It's now round 8, scheduled for 10.
Bojado has what seems to be a rejuvenated gas tank to a degree. A little sharper, a little quicker, a little more powerful with his combinations. Again, working behind the jab.
Rubio's gone into the 8th round 16 times. Well, that one sent Bojado's head back. It'll be interesting to see how Press Row has this fight scored. Ron Borges from the Boston Globe, George Kimball, Boston Herald, and Mike Noski from SecondsOut.com. I'm sure they didn't expect anything like this as well.
Bojado boxing from the outside, not very.
Whoa.
He went down too far.
Bojado, there may be a knockdown. Yes, it is.
Yes.
He touched the canvas.
His knee touched the canvas with the left hook to the chin.
And that's going to be the first time in the career of Bojado that he is down. If any part of your body touches the canvas, it is an official knockdown. And Mike Ortega scored it a knockdown.
I think one of the body shots hurt him, but the left hook to the temple with the right hand to the temple really put that knee down. That
could be a telling blow, a huge point in favor of Rubio. Straight left hand to the head, right flush on the face by Bojado, but he didn't follow it up. Now he's boxing. Oh no, now what?
That one went south of the border.
Bojado being hit with a low blow, and he doubled over. And now Michael Ortega cautioning Rubio. Rubio does not have to resort to these tactics. He has to go to the neutral corner. He was inadvertently in his own corner. Bojado ready to resume. Things really getting intriguing now. Big round for Rubio as Bojado goes down for the first time ever.
With a 2-point round on my scorecard, this would pull Rubio to even. Amazing turn of events.
Big left hand to the head by Bojado, but Rubio refuses to go down. And these are solid shots by Bojado. Rubio making Bojado miss. Straight right hand by Bojado. He's got to be wondering what's holding Rubio up.
And Rubio came back and hit him with a left hook to his credit. It's amazing. Based on what I've seen in the tapes, I never saw this type of toughness from Rubio.
This is like something choreographed out of a Rocky movie.
Ninth round coming. You got this round in the next round. You just lost that round big. You lost by 2 points. Listen, you can't stand in front of him and do nothing with that left hand. You understand what I'm saying? When you're in front of him, you got to be touching him all the time, and you got to start running.
Let's watch the hands on the knockdown. There he goes. You know what? I'll tell you what. Here's the hand right here. You see it touch. It's touching the canvas, but there's not a punch that we can ascertain did that. One of the dangerous reasons for hanging his head so low and bending over, he did it dangerously on the ropes before. I don't know why. Now we'll see the low blow. Rubio comes in with a right hand right under here, gets his head pulled down a little bit by Bojado. Total accident.
Bojado's in big trouble. Round 9. One knockdown of the fight against, yes, Bojado, if you're just tuning in.
A slightly questionable knockdown, but it was ruled a knockdown.
His glove touched the canvas. There have been warnings for low blows, for fouls, but no actual point deductions. Here is Rubio pressing the attack again.
When Rubio's coming forward, Bojado's having a lot of trouble with him because of that fatigue factor.
Bojado continues to look exhausted. No action. Hasn't thrown a punch. His first punch of the round. It took nearly a minute.
I think that Panchito Bojado has got to close his last 2 rounds if he wants to keep this fight. I think this fight is incredibly up in the air for him right this moment. And he's not winning this round, and we're just about halfway through.
He has yet to figure Rubio out. And anything he throws, Rubio takes. And not only that, but then Rubio comes back throwing himself. A completely frustrated Panchito Bojado. I mean, I can't read his mind, but I would assume he's frustrated.
Well, there he just got hit with a triple left hook, a right hand, and a couple left hooks to the body without responding. He cannot have this.
And again, as he lands with a left hook, the mouthpiece ready to come out of Bojado's mouth. And that is a sign of fatigue, usually. And he keeps hitting him on the break. Bojado gets cautioned by Ortega. Rubio, again, right on top of Bojado.
Two good solid right hands to the temple jawline.
Rubio using his height and reach beautifully. Combination to the head by Bojado, and again, nothing.
And Rubio switched to southpaw briefly.
Back to right-handed. Bojado's southpaw now. Hasn't worked yet. Missing wildly with the left hook is Bojado. Bojado sucking wind. And just standing there like a stationary target.
He's tired. I don't think he would be southpaw if he wasn't. I think his left hand's a little tired and falling down. He's trying to just keep the right hand up.
It's Rubio trying to close the show, Bobby.
Well, he's certainly being the more aggressive and the more accurate fighter, throwing more punches, at least in this round. And I think that Stewart died in the last round.
Oh, what an exchange at the bell. And Bojado really got tagged there at the bell.
This is the last round. This is the fight. Huh? You want to quit? You want me to stop it? All right. Then you got to throw it. You got to throw it to the body. Okay? That hand's all right. You throw it to the body.
No te lo van a robar. Tienes que ganar este round.
This is the last round. The last round. He needs water.
Último round.
It's the last round. Last round.
Limpio, okay?
Saca a tirar con todo, ¿eh? Futuro ahí, todo. Este es el
Panchito Bojado was just asked, do you want to
Ladies and
quit?
gentlemen, we're approaching the 10th
And Bojado shook his head.
Let's cheer him
No.
on as the end of the
He had said to his cornerman, I hurt my hand. My hands are hurt. He said, you want to quit? I said, no. He said, don't tell me about it.
Does Bojado need a knockout to win?
Absolutely not. I think a knockdown would do it for him. A very convincing one-sided, lopsided round could do it. This fight is razor thin right now. One or two of the close rounds either way could be huge on the scorecards. But I think he certainly needs the round if he wants to pull it at least even.
If it doesn't end here in the 10th, it'll be in the hands of Melvina Lathan, Dr. Clark Sammartino, and Fred Ucci, the three judges.
Bojado looking to load up with a big counter. I guess because he's so tired, that's probably smart. But he's not fighting like this is all or nothing.
He needs a sense of urgency here. Rubio fighting a tremendous fight. He just walked into a straight left, Rubio, but there's a right hand by Bojado, and Rubio continues to say, bring it on. You talk about a tough kid. Rubio in the green.
He's been winning a lot of these combinations by outfighting Bojado, but the last two, Bojado landed more cleanly, excuse me.
Another heavy right hand by Bojado. Blood coming down the bridge of Rubio's nose, but he keeps coming forward. What a jab by Bojado. Missing with the left hook.
Where's that jab been all night?
Bojado trying to knock Rubio out all night long. It hasn't worked. He has abandoned the boxing, abandoned the jab.
Bojado's winning a lot of this last round with his jab so far, landing it heavy and often.
Bojado dancing around, but he's going backwards. We approach the final 40 seconds of the 10th and final round. A very close fight. Rubio all over Bojado.
Rubio is trying to close.
Bojado perhaps on the threshold of his first loss in his 10th fight. But he probably thought this was going to be a cakewalk. Again, it's Rubio.
Rubio taking the fight right to him.
Rubio canvassing Panchito Bojado. Final seconds of the fight. And you will hear a roar in a second. Rubio wants more.
You know what, coming in tonight, Steve, you'd think that Lacey had the tougher opponent, the bigger test, and boy, was I wrong. Rubio fought the fight of his life. He really rose to the occasion, and Panchito Bojado couldn't rise any higher than he did.
Even if Rubio loses this fight on the scorecards, boy, does his stock soar. The crowd on its feet, cheering. Juan Carlos Rubio being hoisted up. Nobody expected this, except maybe for this man. For the first time ever,
it's a learning process.
Panchito Bojado tested. You can hear somebody saying it's a learning process. I think that's Shelly Finkel, his manager.
Well, the learning process could be really, really bad when you have to learn by losing. I know from firsthand experience.
So now we await the decision. Very anxious moments for Panchito Bojado. Very seemingly close fight. Did he win or did he lose? He's in there with Zab Judah, the former 140-pound champion. Bojado down earlier in the fight, a fight that saw an incredible 5th round.
We'll take a look at it again. There's some punches being thrown by Rubio, but you watch it. He's down there, he's getting hit, and he just puts that hand down. That hand goes down while he's getting punched. That's a knockdown technically, not a real big knockdown, not a tremendously clean knockdown, but when you're getting punched at and you put something on the ground, a knee or a hand, that's a knockdown. It's just that simple. I have no idea what he was doing bent over like that. I really don't. He did it earlier. I have no idea why.
So now the long wait continues, and Jimmy Lennon does have the scores in hand. Let's go to Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've all seen an outstanding 10 rounds of action. No matter who the winner is, they both deserve a round of applause. Outstanding bout here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, after these 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are their score totals. Judges at ringside, Dr. Clark Sammartino and Fred Ucci, both score the bout 96-94. Judge Melvina Lathan scores the bout 98-92. All three in favor of the winner, Juan Carlos Rubio.
Big upset here in Connecticut tonight. Juan Carlos Rubio.
I thought 98-92 was a real stretch. That's a 6-round gap. You know, in a 10-round fight, that's like 8 rounds to 2. That's pretty big. I had a 96-94 as the other 2 judges did, Steve.
Good show of sportsmanship. You might have caught a glimpse of Panchito Bojado applauding after the decision.